Is your check engine light on with the trouble code P00AA? This code points specifically to a malfunction in the intake air temperature sensor 1 circuit on bank 2. Let's break down exactly what this means and how you can fix it right in your own garage without needing a tow truck. This is a generic powertrain code which applies to all OBD2 equipped vehicles, though the specific location of the sensor might vary slightly depending on whether you drive a Ford, a Chevy, or a Toyota. The intake air temperature sensor, or IAT, is essentially a thermistor. That is a fancy way of saying it measures temperature by detecting electrical resistance. It is usually a 2-wire sensor sitting in your air intake duct, or sometimes the intake manifold. The powertrain control module, or PCM, sends out a 5-volt reference signal to this sensor. As air rushes past it, the resistance changes based on how hot or cold that air is. Cold air creates higher resistance, while warm air lowers it. The computer monitors these voltage changes to adjust fuel mixture for maximum efficiency. When you see code P00AA, the computer has detected a voltage signal from the bank 2 sensor that is completely outside the normal operating range. Bank 2 simply refers to the side of the engine that does not contain cylinder number 1. While you might not feel any immediate driving problems other than that annoying light on your dashboard, you could experience poor engine performance or rough running. The causes are usually straightforward. It could be that the sensor itself has failed, the sensor has physically fallen out of the airflow path, or there is a wiring issue, like a short to ground or a broken wire. A bad connection at the terminal or even a faulty PCM could also be the culprit. To fix this, start with a visual inspection. Make sure the sensor is plugged in and sitting tight in the air duct. Next, grab your scan tool and look at the IAT reading with the key on but the engine off. If the engine is cold, this reading should match your coolant temperature sensor reading. If the scanner shows something crazy like -40 degrees or 300 degrees Fahrenheit, you have a hard fault. Unplug the sensor and check the resistance across its 2 terminals with a multimeter. If it reads infinite resistance, the sensor is dead and needs replacing. If the sensor is fine, you need to check the wiring. If your scanner reads 300 degrees, unplug the sensor. If the reading drops to -40, the sensor was shorted internally. If the reading stays high even when unplugged, you likely have a short to ground in the signal wire that you need to trace and repair. Conversely, if your reading is stuck low at -40, jump the 2 terminals on the harness connector with a wire. The scanner should instantly spike to the high temperature reading. If it does, your wiring and computer are good and the sensor is the problem. If it does not change, you have an open circuit in the wire or a bad computer. If you are uncomfortable testing live electrical circuits or do not own a multimeter, this is the point where you should take the vehicle to a professional mechanic to avoid damaging the computer.